Yeah, I'm ballin' in this bitch. Yeah. Money stay callin' in this bitch. We ain't worry about none, we celebratin'.
What's up, YouTube?
You don't know. What's poppin'?
Boys and girls.
What's
All
up,
you
fellas?
Cause how y'all doing tonight?
Hey,
Guys, we have a
chillin',
lovely
chillin'.
guest with us. We got, of course, myself. We got Westcott Crypto, but we are joined in honor with Captain RG3. How you doing, my friend?
Hey,
What's up,
thanks for
RG3?
bringing me aboard, guys.
Of course. It's been too long, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan of you guys. You guys are tearing it up, killing it. I love your stream. I love the stuff you guys are putting out, man. Hat is off to you. Good job, man. Good job.
Yes, sir. Well, appreciate what you have done as well, my friend. We're going to talk a little bit more as we get into tonight's discussion because he is gone and he has done so many things to help bring on board the crypto space into Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX. Guys, we're going to be talking with RG3 so he can share what a fucking true expert in crypto likes to do and make some strategies. Because all you little punk bitches out here
You
are
don't
freaking
know.
out right now. So please, welcome all the guests.
Yeah,
Captain
Here's my strategy. Get lucky.
right? That's bro.
Well, that's what everybody tells me. You know,
Hey,
the
man,
old guy,
exactly.
the old guy doesn't
Everyone
know
been
shit.
saying
Got
that.
lucky.
You just got lucky.
Bro,
Yo, it
got
ain't
lucky,
luck, man. It ain't luck.
Hey, man, dude. It's incredible what you've been able to accomplish with crypto. I'm inspired. Like it's watching your story and stuff is why I'm here. You know, I seen what the Hexicans done in the past, and I'm like, bro, whatever y'all did, I'm following the guy you follow, which is Richard Hart. And I said, let me get into this PulseX sacrifice. Let me buy some PulseChain. Let me get some Hex and do the same thing y'all did. Wait it out. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all held through a damn zombie virus. Like who does that? I would have sold. immediately. I'd have been the guy crying about selling his Hex. Like that was
everyone wants to be an OG, but they can't stand 50 days.
50
How you supposed to
days.
be an OG? You freaking out at 50 days.
People don't see, man.
Yo, people dump their whole bag, already.
Yeah. So look, man, there's one thing. There's a benefit to being old. Like I get busted on all the time for being the old guy, right? For being 50-something years.
I can't even tell RG3. I can't tell, dog.
Well, thank you.
No,
and wait until the money really starts flowing. I'm gonna go get every anti-agent.
You don't know. Me too.
I'm gonna fly around the world. I'm fighting this agent thing, man.
Yes.
I'm gonna do everything I can to try and get 2 15-year stakes in.
Facts, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. For sure,
So,
man.
but one thing, one of the benefits of being of the age that I am is that I've been through enough things in my life, you know, the Marine Corps and all the things that I've done and crypto, and
wow,
you know, I've learned that there's 3 important things. You know, you got your mind, your body, and your spirit, and until you connect all of those things with experiences, you're not gonna fucking make it.
Facts.
Right.
You missing elements, you're going to somehow screw up and lose your money and lose your way, lose your relationships, lose your health. Something is going to mess up if you don't get that mind, that body, and that spirit, your heart, the thing that you go out and get from, you know, having integrity, working that body until it can't work no more, till it's broken.
Yes.
And then you have to go out and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, even though your body's broken. And then your mind gives up and your mind doesn't want to do it anymore, but you do it anyway because that thing in here, your spirit makes you. And until you can take control of those things and get rid of procrastination and get rid of laziness and get rid of, you know, all of those things, those isms that we get as human beings, you got to overcome those things by hooking those 3 things together. And once you do, then you're going to make it. And the one thing that I got out of all my experiences was when I finally found something, when my mind finally said, that's the dude, because of all my experiences of who good people are and who is going to be out there talking the talk and not faking the funk on the funky dunk. Right. So when I heard Richard, I said, oh, this is a different cat.
Yeah.
This guy is different in crypto.
Mm-hmm.
He's speaking things differently. And then when I looked in his eyes and I saw him, and then when I met him, the times that I've met him,
wow,
I just know who Richard is now as a human being. He wants to do good. He makes things right. He wants a legacy for himself. He wants to make things that are going to be good for the world. He wants to make the world a better place.
Yep.
And as do I. As we get older, that's the kind of things we want to see is how do we make the world a better place for everyone and the people that we bring into it and people around us? You know, how do we do that? And Richard has those tools. He knew what to do. And so that's why I got involved. And that's why I said, you know what? Because I'm already connected with my mind, my body, my spirit. They can't stop me. Like none of you motherfuckers can outwork me.
Right.
You can be better than me.
Right.
You can outwork me because I'll die trying to outwork you. So I'll die or I will outwork you. Period. End of story. Because I know how to hook those things up because I've broken my body. I've broken my mind and I've taken my spirit to the edge. So this is nothing. Dealing with plebs on the internet tell me they're going to kill me. Telling me they're going to come get me and my family. Bring it. I got my 2 oldest up perched up on the top of the roof with freaking stuff that you guys don't want to come in my neighborhood and
you get threats, RG3?
Oh, bro, I got death threats when we first started.
God damn.
I get doxxed. I had somebody send me all of my personal information through Telegram. Oh, they sent me all my personal information.
Oh, that's not good.
Now it freaked me out. Don't get me wrong. It freaked me out.
Right.
But I take countermeasures. I got things in place. You know, I do stuff to make sure. But here's the thing I found out.
Right.
It's all talk. When you get in front of these people, when you really get in front of these people, they don't talk no more shit. Ain't nobody stepping in your face.
That's facts.
Nobody, you know, see, because I came from a different world where like some of the shit that you motherfuckers say to each other on the internet, like you get your shit knocked the fuck out in real life. You know, it doesn't happen like that. But
I bet when they see you, they want an autograph or a selfie with you, man.
Exactly. What I find the most funny that you just said right there is these motherfuckers will come out here and say some shit online, and then like you said, they never been punched, man. I can tell you, all these motherfuckers who are out there talking that shit on Twitter, on everything, just Telegram, whatever the fuck handle they got, they just say they never got punched, man. They ain't never been told shut the fuck up and got knocked the fuck out for saying something. I can tell you that much right now. And I promise, man, the Marine Corps don't fucking tolerate that shit.
No, bro. No. And you just didn't talk to people that way. And I don't talk to people that way.
Right.
And when I'm in person, I definitely don't talk to people that way. I have utmost respect for every Hexican out there. I mean, I put my time and my effort into them, and I haven't hurt anybody.
Right.
I've only promoted Hex, and I've barely talked about Pulse and Pulse X because they weren't out yet, and now they're out, and now we can talk about them. Yeah, that's how cautious and careful I have been about all of this. I knew that when Hex came out, that Hex was the GOAT. I knew what Richard created on the T-shares. This Hex is for the world. This changes the world. So it's our responsibility as a community, because that's what a crypto community is supposed to be, is the promoters of that crypto.
Yep.
What we got to do.
Was it Hex, the crypto, the code that sold you, or was it Richard that sold you on it? Like, what did you?
Because I don't know how to read code, man.
That's what I'm saying. For me, bro, like I like Richard more than I even like crypto. Like anything Richard says and does, I just trust his brain and his smart so much. Like for you, what was it for you?
So here's the thing. So I knew crypto because I've been in since 2014.
Right.
And I've been in with scammers. Friends of mine were scammers and created all those cloud mining things and you name it, Bit Club and all that other shit. And I saw it and I know what they did. And I know it was all about custody. It was all about custody. And until you had true self-custody, something that was immutable, then you didn't have shit. And that's why I was getting out of crypto. Now, I was just talking to Westcott here. I was telling him, I grew up in the streets of Inglewood where you had to learn how to read people in order to survive, especially the color of my skin in the neighborhood that I lived in. In order to survive, I had to know people. I had to surround myself with people, and I had to be in the right places.
Right.
And so I learned how to read people well, and trust was important, very important. And when I saw Richard, I said, this guy's different. This guy's real. This guy's trying to do something here. And he was suspect a lot of things, and then I was watching him and the code, I didn't know the code, but what he was saying was right.
Right.
And I said, okay, I'm ready to get out of crypto anyway.
Right.
I was gone after 2017 the crash. He called the top. I said, "Fuck that guy. I don't want to listen to that dude no more." and the next day, I woke up and said, "Wait a minute, that guy called the top. He called the top."
Smart.
And you don't want to listen to him no more?
Smart.
And so I bitch slapped myself and said, you better go listen to that guy.
Wow.
And that's when I really dug in and started listening to what Richard had to say.
Hold on, bro.
Yo, I think everyone needs to go back and listen to some of them old Richard Hart fucking gems, man. And I know he's gonna come out and he's gonna stream, but it ain't gonna be that classic Richard Hart. If I could say this to anyone watching, go back and just watch some of his past streams from 2021, 2020, 2019.
Right.
Go just watch them.
But
check them out.
RG3, how did you even find Richard Hart? Like was it on YouTube? Like, how did you find this guy?
So I'm literally literally one day I'm just, you know, I'm involved in crypto. I'm in all these back rooms in Telegram and literally pump and dumps. Like I'm in the middle of pump and dumps. and I'm just watching streams and I said, hey, you know what? I got to get a better handle on this. I got to start charting, man. I got to start understanding how to read charts. And all this shit.
You know, that
sign up for one of them courses.
Always starts like that.
And so I started seeing a lot of stuff on my YouTube feeds, and this freaking goofy motherfucker in a top hat shows up, right? And I'm like, who's this guy? And I watched this video, and it was all about, you know, you shouldn't be playing too many video games. And
oh my God, I can't believe you watched that. I couldn't watch that.
Well, I watched it.
Wow.
And there was something about him, though, that I liked. So I subscribed to his channel.
Wait. Was he talking about crypto then or no? Just straight talking
No, he wasn't.
Wow.
He wasn't. And believe it or not, so I clicked on it and I liked what he was saying because I'm a self-help guy. And,
okay, so you were looking for self-help at that time, or
no? You just always you stay looking for it. You know what I mean? That's something you once you start on the journey, you just continue on that journey.
Okay,
exactly. So you know, and you know, it's not a secret that I don't drink. I haven't drank in 28 years.
Gotcha.
I'm a sober guy, and
Shout
so
out.
I like listening to people like that, and so I started watching some streams. It was goofy, you know, but then I started seeing some of his crypto stuff start coming out. And I liked what he was doing. And I was like, man, I listen to this guy. And then, you know, and then the 2017 pump came, 20K Christmas. We were all riding high. Everybody was stoked. We were freaking, you know, baby, it was on, right?
Yeah.
That cute little guy. Yeah. Hey, if you want to bust on my height, make sure that when you get up to me in person that they're not shorter than me, okay?
Motherfucker better be 7 foot.
Right.
No, I'm not that tall, but damn.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They better be coming taller if you're gonna call it little. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Well, I don't know if you guys know the running meme. The very first Hex meetup, there was a handful of us there, and we took a picture. And I leaned into the picture, and you guys know dollar cost. Dollar cost is like
you saw a guy.
6'4", whatever.
Right.
So I looked like I was real short. Well, the first opportunity that came up was they started cutting my legs off and put me on high stairs.
I remember that shit. I remember that shit whenever they were doing that to you.
So it turned out it
was what 20.
Every time I met all these
2020.
motherfuckers, they were all coming up to here on me, right? You know?
Right.
But it's been a running joke ever since. But yeah, so that's why I followed Richard, because I just thought I saw something inherently different in him than I had seen in the whole space.
Right.
And when he said, pack it up, guys, 3-year bear market, and it pissed me off, man. I was so mad. But when he said that, he was really speaking something that nobody wanted to hear. Nobody else would say. You know, none of the other, furus out there would tell you that, because their channel depends on everybody viewing them. And if he said, hey,
sponsorships, all of it,
go to sleep for 3 years, that's their money. That's their income. That's their livelihood.
Right.
But Richard was brave enough to say it, So because of that, I said, that guy's real. That guy's real. And that's when I started following him. That's when I said, okay, when Hex comes out, first it was what's the name of that thing? Fluid Dynamics coin. And I was like, it was a little geeky over my head. I didn't understand.
Over my head,
and I was like, well, maybe I'll invest in it anyway. But I was ready to get out. And then he came out with Hex and the concept of it. And I was like, man, fucking CD, man. That's a $7 trillion market. People utilize these things. that's a product. That's product market fit. That fits in the real world.
Nice.
Like fuck crypto. That fits in the real world.
Nice.
This is something that could finally bridge over because I knew everything else in crypto couldn't bridge over. Like Bitcoin was garbage.
Right.
I knew all these things were just not working. And Richard was the only one saying it too.
Right,
so I was like, yes, he's going to do something. And so when he launched Hex, we started picking it apart and looking at it and listening to all the FUD and on stream, live on stream. You know, we even had Dev Kyle for the first. He came on our stream for the first, you know, explanation of what a T-share was. And they were it was very hard to understand at first what the T-share was and how it worked. And, you know, and nobody could explain it.
Yeah. I still struggle with it.
It's turned out to be very, very simple. It's just a marker of your hex stake in time. It's just a marker of how many hex you put out and what bonus you got in time. That's all it is, a marker.
Right.
And then that marker tells the code how much hex you're supposed to get every day as the inflation comes out. That's it. And then at the end, that marker, the math gets done on it. The calculation goes, tells you how many hex you get. You get your hex that you put in, and you get the hex that you've accumulated via the inflation and via the end stake penalties. And all that jumps into your bag, and that's
trustless.
T-shares burn.
Yep.
T-shares burn. Your hex comes back, freshly minted, brand new hex into your wallet, and that's it. That's all a T-share is.
Let me ask you. So
yield. God.
Right. So let me ask you. When Hex launched, did you? Because we tell people all the time, you know, don't invest more than what you're willing to lose, right? So I'm gonna ask you, like, did you go all in or did you be conservative with it?
God damn, I wish I did. Boy, I wish I did.
Okay, so you were doing it the right way.
You'd be talking to Emperor RG3 right now, not Captain. That's for damn sure. No,
so you were smart about
it.
You were smart about it.
Well, it's not that I'm smart. You know, I've got 3 kids, 2 getting ready to go to college, you know, and a house, a family, the whole thing. It's like
the YOLO play ain't happening.
I can't do that stuff.
Right.
You know, I can't, you know, my crypto bag was a very small amount of money when I created it, as far as my whole wealth goes. Of course, now it's 99% of my wealth. But
lovely.
But it was only maybe at the time 5%, you know, just a little tiny portion of money, the throwaway money. You know, it was, you know, something to put a man cave together or buy my Impala that I want, you know, or whatever. You know? So
if Hex would have crashed and died, you would have been fine. You wouldn't have been hurt.
I was going to get rid of that. I was going to put that money, like literally, I would have bought a freaking, you know,
a fridge, a refrigerator.
I would have bought a nice freaking, you know, what do they call it, midlife crisis car or something.
Right, there you go, Corvette. You know? Yeah.
No, I wanted like a 61 to 64 Impala.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Low rider switches, you know, the whole.
Okay,
that's
cool.
My dream car, really.
Cholo car.
Other than Porsches, I like Porsches and Volkswagens too.
Yeah.
So what is it about you that how do you separate from the other OGs that seem to have turned their back on RH? Like, you know, like what keeps you loyal to Hex and what we got going on here and not taking shots on Twitter at RH every day? You know, what is it about you that keeps you, you know,
I don't know about the others. I don't know what separates me from them, or I can't speak on them, or say anything bad about them because most of them are friends.
Right, gotcha.
But it's integrity, man. My fucking integrity is all I really own. Who I am. That's all I have. That's all. Money, family, car, all that stuff could go away. I still got to live with myself every day, whether it's under a bridge or in a mansion. That's what puts my head on my pillow every night, is what I did the day that had integrity. And I've said that this is ride or die for me. You know, that's what this is, because I know what this means to the world. It has nothing to do. It's already freed me. I'm free. I don't have to do this shit. I don't have to be around here. I don't have to make movies and do streams and tour the country. I don't have to do that. Spending my money doing it and getting no appreciation half the time for it. But those of you who do, I appreciate you. But it's about integrity. It's about going out and to whom much is given, much is expected. Is my philosophy, my theory on this. And I was given a lot. So my way, look, Richard can't do this on his own. He can't do this, period. And he can't tell us what to do either.
Right.
And he does it in his own subtle ways by saying, I ain't doing shit for you guys. That means you go and do it. That means you go and build it. That means you go out and stream.
Right.
Everybody wants Richard to stream. Why the fuck don't you stream? You get out there and stream.
Right.
Richard built you a freaking ecosystem.
Bingo.
The best crypto in the world, Hex. The best chain, L1 in the world, more than likely now, Pulse.
Mm-hmm.
The best decks out there, Pulse X. You go out and stream and say what an amazing job he did for you instead of out there bitching and complaining, where's Richard, and his failed project.
Bro,
I got two things to say on that real fast. So integrity, guys, to break it down, is doing the right thing when no one's looking.
Yep.
Okay? That's the basic mentality. So at the end of the day, what are you going to do whenever no one's watching you, right? Are you going to cave in? Are you going to give in to everything just because no one's watching, no one's got eyes on you? Or are you going to keep to your commitment and stick to your guns and actually do what you say you're going to do? Right? That's what makes Hex so freaking great. You have to do what you said you were going to do. Otherwise, you are penalized. That is what makes staking Hex
and RG gets your money.
Beautiful. Yo, and then everyone else gets paid because of your weak hands. But that's integrity at the end of the day. So I wanted to go on this because you had said something that caught my attention. Managing expectations. What can you help to explain to people about managing their expectations? Because at this point in time, people have this level of a grandiose, I don't know what to even call it. I have no idea. Again, so it's like, what do you have to say to people who have a tough time with managing their expectations, whether it's not getting a 10x right away, not getting Richard Hart stream, not hitting, $1 million in a day, in an hour, in a fucking minute. I don't know. But like, what is it about managing expectations that you can share to everyone watching right now who can really benefit from just hearing some thoughts on that?
Right.
So what the problem is that so the crypto space got usurped, from Satoshi's vision and Bitcoin and what it was supposed to be, how it was supposed to be money for the world, power the people, us get a hold of it, knock the banks in the teeth, get things done outside of the banking system. That's what Bitcoin was supposed to bring. It turned into this freaking cesspool of traders and gamblers and degenerates is what it turned into. They took it and they played all the same old shell games that the world has been playing with finance forever. They had a new toy, this crypto thing, and they turned everybody into traders, and not just traders, but day traders, hypersensitive, fast moving day traders. Like the stock market doesn't even move as fast as crypto.
So I don't know. So when they switched it over from the 2 day to a 1 day to you got Robinhood doing same day expectations of like 2 day holds. Cause they used to do all that shit long time before we got the Robinhood app. Right. And then you got the 1 day hold where you had to have everything hold in for at least 1 day. And now you got like this 0 day thing where people are expecting everything like fucking this. And that's where the day trading's coming in. But yeah, keep going. My bad.
So Pavlov's dog, right?
Yep.
They created a response and they get people addicted to it. And gambling is an addiction.
Right.
So getting people addicted to this fast moving, high pace, high reward, low, high gain, high downfall. The whole thing was set up to just it's an addiction. And it turned it into a cesspool. And the worst of the worst came to crypto. You got all these really smart guys in the background building stuff. And then you've got all of these really freaking nasty charlatans running shit on the front end and robbing people and rug pulling and figuring out how to make as much money as they can. And I've seen it. They're out there. They exist. Now, Hex changes that. Pulse changes that. It brings us back to where crypto was supposed to be. True decentralized finance with tools. Now, if you don't understand that and you're coming from that other world, I understand. I get it. Your brain hasn't been rewired yet. Now, mine was rewired 3 years ago as Richard started talking and then we started learning what Hex was. I rewired myself and I go, oh, this is delayed gratification. This is about, this is about world-class crypto. This is about inflation. This is about a new interest model, a new yield-bearing interest model that no one's ever seen before. This is amazing. This is stuff the world needs to see. This is what in the real world, everybody should be reading what Berkshire Hathaway has done and what oh shoot, I'm forgetting his name. Warren Buffett did in the world of
Charlie Munger, Warren
investing,
Buffett.
and what Munger and we should be putting those types of concepts into our mindset when we're investing in crypto now, especially in this ecosystem. The other stuff, garbage. Forget it. Stay away from the Bitcoins. All that stuff to me is garbage.
Definitely.
Hex and the ecosystem here is how we should be thinking and moving forward. And you should be thinking long-term mindset and not this quick turnaround, make it easy buck thing, you know. And I've only been, you know, in the Hex ecosystem for a little over 3 years now.
Right.
And that's fast.
Right.
That's fast.
That's quick.
In the world, that's fast. You know, it took me 30 years to find Hex.
Right.
Investing and building businesses and failing, but always getting up and failing forward, you know, and then finding it finally and getting a hold of it and then spending the dashi. That was fast. 3 years was absolutely tremendously fast to make the wealth that I've made.
Right.
So to think that something should launch, and if you look at history, none of this stuff has ever done tens and hundreds of X's unless it was a scam or a rug pull right out the bat. Anything that was worth its salt that launched in a bear market takes its time to get up off of its fucking feet. It's a baby. It's got to crawl. It's got to, you know, walk, and then it's got to run. It can't do, to have those type of expectations. More than likely, most of these people, of course, have that mindset, or they over leverage themselves and they're in trouble. And mama's either going to kill them because they spent the rent money or whatever it was that they did, you know, that got themselves into their situation. That's what's giving them the freaking sour grapes. And that's what's making them, you know, butthurt over what Richard's done, which is just launched you the greatest L1 on the planet as of yet.
Right. What were your expectations then when Hex, like, did you expect a 10,000X? Did you ever have doubt that would happen, or like, you know what I mean? Like, were you shocked when it happened? Were you overwhelmed, underwhelmed? Like, what were your expectations back then?
So you always have that expectations of becoming a multimillionaire, always, and you should always have that. You want more. We all want more. As human beings, we all want more.
Yes, sir.
And having that dream is in the back of our heads, right? But as we launched, it went boom. It crashed. You know, and I listened to Richard. I didn't get in day one FOMO like a lot of people did. Day one FOMO. I said, no, I'm gonna wait. You know, and I kind of accidentally waited a little, like into the middle of January or whatever. And then, I was in the middle of some personal stuff, and I was like, oh shit, Richard launched Hex. And I'm like, oh, I wasn't going in day one anyway. And then I look and I'm like, oh great, it's bottomed out. So I was able to get in.
Wow.
So
nice.
You know, and we got in at day 33. I was in the AA, you know, we did day 33, and me and Hexo we were buying, you know, we were seeing Hex at 1 million Hex per ETH, you know, and stuff like that. So it was, you know, we were doing good at that in the AA lobby in the beginning. And so we were accumulating, and we accumulated for a few months, and then the FUD started happening. And you know, we had just started Discourse Syndicate. Hexo and myself started Discourse Syndicate. I don't know if people know that, but me and Hexo started it. Like literally, I still use Hexo's email for all the logins for this stuff.
Wow.
Like I literally have his old archives have his old streams of him. He was doing video game streams with people.
Bro, yeah, go ahead. It's evolved so much since then, but we'll get into that. But go ahead. So okay.
So the FUD came. And one of the guys that first got in, he was a kind of a whale at the time. He dumped like 150 million Hex and did it on stream and all this stuff, and crushed the price. And because he was mad because he was arbitraging. He would buy at the AA lobby, which were good prices, and then the price was higher in the Uniswap V1. So he would dump it on V1 every day. So he was buying and dumping. And well, the liquidity changed, and so the price changed, and everything evened out. A whale came in and said, "Oh no, nah." So they came in and fixed that, and he got mad. And this was the same guy who started his own coin, and that coin ended up failing because he locked up all the liquidity in like V1 or something. Stupid shit like that. And
sorry, that's painful, bro. God damn.
He got slammed. But now he was spreading so much FUD at the time that everybody was doubting Hex at that time. Now, we're talking Hex is only 3-4 months old, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we were having conversations, me and Hexo and Dollar Cost Crypto. We were talking, you know, on the phone, going, "Man, is Richard gonna rug pull on this thing? Is he?" And I'm like, "I don't think so, man. I don't think he could." I don't think he would, man. He'd make more money if he didn't rug pull. That was our whole narrative we were telling ourselves. Like, this guy, this thing does what he says it's doing, and it's doing it. You know, there's no way he's going to rug pull. He's making more if he doesn't. And, you know, and then all the OA talk was coming out. And everybody's talking about the OA. And we're like, no, man, this could be. And we were, at that time, it was like, it could be. Richard could be doing the right thing. The OA could do the right thing. And if it's all set up right, it could be the right thing. And that's where we were at. So we ended up on the side of, we believe in what Richard's going to do. And that's what pushed me over. Is like, I believe in all this. I believe in the OA. I believe in what he's doing. And I know that he's doing this the right way. And a bunch of people fell off to the other side. A bunch of the OGs that were like in the Hex chat room and stuff ran off with this other dude. Wow. And it was like a big split at the time. Wow. And it was hard. It was really hard. And then it took us a long time to crawl out of the ashes, a couple months of, you know, just handling the FUD and handling everybody talk.
You know what I love that y'all did, man, is y'all would bring guests. Y'all would openly invite anyone onto the channel in order to have a discussion and tell y'all what to do with the money, just because you have your money invested in this. So if it's something that's bad, you want to know. Come tell me what's bad. And you would openly leave it for anyone to come on. What are we talking about?
And they never came. And the ones that did they came with bad narrative. They came with bad information. They came with old FUD. You know, everything that we had dispelled, everything that we had squashed, they'd bring it and they'd be like, man, you're just it's
back on that again, bro. Stop.
Like, they're still digging some of that old stuff up. That it's like, dude, Hex has been here for over 3 years.
Right.
But the OA has 90%. Shut the fuck up, man.
and, you know, and how many other big companies have, you know, that kind of holding within their own companies? You know, I mean, it's necessary. It helps the ecosystem. It's only done good for the ecosystem.
Yep.
And those are the things that people tend to not understand. Now, to err on the side of caution, I do not blame people for erring on the side of caution, because the OA does look like an Achilles heel to the whole system. And only until you understand and know what it's for, do you understand what it actually means to the world and what it means to this ecosystem.
Correct.
And you know, and that's going to be a hard pill for some people to swallow. So I don't fault smart people outside of the crypto space to doubt it or to want to understand it better. I don't, but those conversations need to be had.
Yep.
And in order for us to get global adoption, in order for us to do what we really want to do, first of all, we have to get out of the crypto space and talk to normal people, talk to real people, and get out there face to face, fill up stadiums instead of hotel rooms like I'm doing right now.
Yep.
That's what we have to do, because this product, Hex, can change the world. It can. And it's up to us to go out and do it. Richard's not going to do it. It's us. It's the community.
Yep.
And the crypto's there. It's saying, man, hey, you know, it's saying, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. If you guys go out and do the right thing, then everybody can have it. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what we got to do.
So as far as like Discord Syndicate go, you said it started with you and Hexo. Was it Coffee and DCC involved as well? Like how did that split happen? Because I see everyone kind of went out on their own like thing. Like,
yeah, there was no split.
Okay.
So what happened is me and Hexo, I asked Hexo, he was a Marine, so we had a friendship going.
Nice.
And I said, hey man, I want to start streaming. I want to do a community stream, because that's what I do. I build communities. I built communities before. And so I said, I want to expose like so many smart people we had, so many good people we had in the Telegram room. I want to expose that on YouTube.
Right.
So I started Discord Syndicate. Hexo helped me. Our first stream was Hexo, DCC, and myself. So me and DCC started streaming, and DCC, man, he's a whole another animal in crypto, man. He's like, you know, he's a red pill guy. He's a everything crypto guy. Yeah. He's a Hex maxi. I mean, but he's brilliant. He gets out there in the space and he does good stream work, and he had to go do his own thing. He's like, hey man, you know, I'm gonna do my classes, and he started teaching, and he just blew up. You know, he blew up. And that's what I wanted Discord Syndicate for. It wasn't for me to blow up. It was to expose the community. It was always about exposing the community.
Right.
And Hexo, you know, he's like, Hexo's got his thing, man. His stream is good. And so he's like, hey, you did Jen's. I'm going to go do my thing. Cause he's got like, you know, his stream is kind of, you know, vanilla, you know, family kind of, you know, Mayberry kind of thing.
Right.
And funny. And I'm not funny. I'm just old man eating shit and barking at the moon, right? And so, so you know, Coffee had come on with us too, but Coffee, he's on another level too.
Yeah.
I mean, that young man is brilliant. Like he can put things down like nobody's business.
Man.
He didn't need me weighing him down, so he just continued doing his channel, and his channel blowing up. So you know, so then of course, while all this was happening, there was this guy in the background that said, "Hey man, I'm here. I got your back." His name was Kinetics. And Kinetics is like when my father passed away when we first started, I had to take off for a week, a couple weeks. Right. And so I flew out and he took over Discord Syndicate. Hey, I got your back. And he did the whole thing, man. And just like came through when I needed it. Right. And hey, Sandy, my lady, how you doing? And so he became my business partner. He became a confidant. He became, you know, all part of Discord Syndicate and behind the scenes. We built MCA together. We built the Hex Investment Trust, you know, and we just been doing things, everything that we can do and put our money to. He and I produced the film for the Highest of Stakes. So we just did all. You don't have to wait much longer, bro.
Oh man, I can't wait, bro. It's gonna be so. Yo, we gotta get into that too.
That was one of the questions right here. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let y'all finish. But we come back on this one real fast. I want you to wrap. You know, finish up that thought.
So you had Coffee, and then
and then Coffee, and then he went. So it was me and Kinetics,
right?
And then everybody else had been, you know, blowing up. So we just kept, you know, the effing hangout, the Friday night hangout is, you know, always been an open stream. Anybody could come on. We've been getting trolled lately, so like some weird stuff's been going on. So I have to kind of, you know, so you know, and it is what it is. If people want to do that, whatever. We got a strike the other day. So somebody's gunning for us right now. That we obviously, it was an old video that's been up there for the last 2 years, and then somebody made a complaint about it. It was like a kangaroo was getting boxed by some guy that was beating his dog, and literally the guy slapped the kangaroo, and they gave us an animal cruelty freaking strike.
Oh my gosh, dude!
And the thing's been up there for 2 years.
I mean, everyone's even seen that video, man.
I love that video.
Bro.
That's
like,
crazy.
I know that video that you're talking about. That motherfucking kangaroo puts up. Anyways.
So they took the channel down for a week and gave us a strike, and if we do anything else. And the trolls, whatever. I don't know why they're trying to shut us down or why they want to squat our voice.
Haters.
But we're going to keep going. I'm not going to stop. No matter what platform they shut us off from, I'll go out in the freaking hotels and talk to people. I don't care. I'll keep doing it until I fill up stadiums. I ain't fucking kidding, man.
How does it feel to like look from a bird's eye view of what you guys created? You guys came together, 4 of you, 3 of you, whatever, and now you got PulseNation, you got me, ATA. Like, what is that like to have made like a whole nation of people? You know, like we got like 100 streamers now. I got invited to the 48-hour stream, and I seen there was 100 people that are supposed to speak, and I'm just like, you got. How does it feel that you guys like birthed that whole situation, man? Like, what is that like, bro?
It means that we're on the right track.
Oh, yeah.
And that the things that we're doing in the future are also on the right track. And when I say fill up stadiums, so the first thing I said is I'm opening up this channel. We had like 30 people show up, you know, like our first month. We had 5 people the first time, and then we had like 10. And then our first month we started going, we had like 30 people that would come watch our streams. And we get maybe, you know, 40, 50 views, right? You know, and I said, this channel is here to expose all of the hexagons and the brains that are in it, because somewhere, somehow, some way, there's going to be better streamers, more viral streamers, and here you are. Here you are. So our vision was right. The better streamers have come. The smarter people have come. The better promoters have come. So now it's like, okay, now it's time to ramp this thing up and turn it on its head one more time. Now we got to get outside of the crypto space. We got to get into the real world, and we got to fill up stadiums of people. So that we got streams that got millions of followers. We're sitting on, you know, podcasts like Joe Rogan's and things like that. And that we're out there in stadiums talking to people about taking their finances back away from the governments, from the banks, and from everything else out there. That's the real message of Satoshi. That's what we were supposed to be talking about.
Mhm.
And now the tools are finally here to do that.
Right.
We have
right,
real DeFi tools. And as soon as we expose that, and hopefully we get to talk about, you know, the EHEX, PHEX, and all that stuff in a minute, because I'm telling you that once the world finds out about what I'm saying about this, it's going to change finance forever.
Yeah.
It's going to change it.
Right.
And we can fill up stadiums, and we can get 30-40% global adoption. If we could pull, a $2-3 trillion market cap in crypto with, a minuscule 3% of the world involved in this thing, what's going to happen when we put 30-40%?
Bro, out of control, man. Out of control, man.
That's hundreds and thousands of X is for all of us here.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Do you see yourself hitting a certain number or getting to a point where you're like, you know what, I did what I did. I'm going to kind of fade into the background and leave it to you guys. Or are you going to be here for the long run? Like, are we going to see you continue to keep going?
That's a hard one, man.
Yeah.
Because, my family's important, and I've spent a lot of time working away from them, you know, and what's cool is that, that this whole getting wealthy thing or whatever has given me freedom. You know, everyone says money don't buy you happiness. Well, money buys you options, and options buys you freedom, and freedom buys you motherfucking happiness. I'll tell you that right now. So having the options, and right now the option isn't to walk away from this community. The option isn't to step away from crypto. Nice. I think that there's more work to be done. Nice. I think that this space, it doesn't need my techno brain or my charting brain or any of that, but it needs my passion. It needs my heart. It needs everything that I'm given to the Hexagon community that's out there doing stuff. I need to get out in front of this and keep trying to push and take us to a whole nother place. So until I feel comfortable with that, I'm not going to walk away. And gotcha. I am going to take sabbaticals and spend time with my family and do some things like that to make sure that I'm giving back to them, because I'm giving back to the world, you know. Yeah. But the world needs this, and that's important to me. And I just can't walk away from it yet. So
got you. Yeah. So let's get into this movie, man, because I know everybody's excited about this.
There you go. Let's go.
If this thing goes viral, are you ready to be like a superstar, man? Like, are you prepared for that? Because you're probably in a lot of it, right?
Yeah, I got, between me and Richard, we got like the biggest parts in the movie.
Wow. Hell, that's big, man. You're gonna get a lot of followers.
My boy Mikey, he's got a really big part in the movie. But yes, for the most part. Look, what I want from this film is adoption. What I want from this film, what's really in my heart to get done. And see, the money is great and the freedom is great. But that's just, what am I going to give back to the world now?
Right.
You know, what's my legacy going to be? What's my swan song?
Right.
What's my gift to the world? Well, what are people going to say about RG when it's just a stone? You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at. And I want to, make sure that the message of what this can mean to. So I worked as a millwright for 30 years.
Yeah.
I busted my ass. And a lot of the guys that I sweat and bled with out there aren't in my position.
Right.
They're still sitting on their couch tonight with a beer in their hand, wondering how in the fuck are they going to, retire. And they're 50 something years old and they got to go to their 70. Ooh. And their income's going down and the workload is going down. When we used to be able to work 14, 16 hours, now they're only getting 8 to 10 hours. Gosh, and when you're used to that other kind of money, and these are guys that have to work overtime in order to make ends meet.
Right.
They expect that in order to make ends meet. It's not, they get pay raises. Their productivity has to keep going up. The productivity of the working class man today has gone through the roof. Right. Look at our productivity numbers versus the last 50 years.
Right.
And our income disparity and our income have gone down versus inflation and everything else.
So when your income becomes so dependent on that, though, like when your income becomes so dependent on the work that you put out.
Yeah. And you're just trading hours for dollars.
Right.
And I did that for many, many years. And I have a heart for those guys because I sweat with them and I bled with them.
Right.
And they don't have anything. You know, and when they first knew about me getting into crypto, they're like, "Oh yeah, man, you're gonna do all right in it. I can't, you know."
Oh,
and it's
wow.
like, you guys don't understand, man. You guys don't
So
understand.
you tried to tell them, you tried to put them on to what you were doing.
Oh man, there's so many of them now that just
I
it
bet
hurts me that there were some of them that I could have helped a lot. And it had, some of them had talked to me, whatever. But
so none of them
okay.
got.
It's okay. We're still early in this. It's there's so much for so many people. Like the whole crypto space is lucky because they are in this thing early. Right. Imagine we're only 3% of the world. What's going to happen when we're 30, 40%? Right. We're talking hundreds of X's of value coming into this market.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to talk about Hex when that happens. And it's going to happen. Look, the institutions, again, are posturing to get involved. They want to get involved in crypto. And they're also talking about immutable coding. And they're also talking about decentralized exchanges. If you look at these exchanges that they're starting to put together, they want to put non-custodial decentralized exchanges together. The institutions, the big institutions.
Right. So
they know what DeFi means. And look at where Gensler and everybody's going after. They're going after all the centralized shit because they can't fuck with the decentralized shit because it's already there. They can't turn it off. They don't got nobody to come at. Like they could put Richard in jail and lock him away or whatever, and it ain't gonna do nothing.
X would go down, and there's fucking 15 other websites that work behind it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Hex is not going to change on either chain. On either chain. Now, here's what I want people to understand. This is the most important thing to understand about global adoption. Okay. Please put this in your brain housing group and get this, people, because this is what's important about all of this. Forget PulseChain, forget the DEX, forget everything that you've ever heard about T-shares, everything. This is what's important right here. There is about 9% of the Hex staked. That pool can be diluted only by the circulating supply. Okay. The OA owns close to 80-something%, 90%. Nobody knows exactly how much it is of that supply.
Right.
The APY right now is something like 37, 38% APY.
Yep.
The circulating supply that's left of all the Hex that's left that anybody can stake that doesn't belong to the OA is what? 3, 4%? What does that do? With that, let's say everybody realized what Hex is, and all that got staked. Every last freaking Hex that's out there gets staked because they realize the value of a staked Hex versus a liquid Hex.
Right.
It brings it down to
now
what, 28, 29?
Disappears. Yeah. So let's just say it drops to 20. Yeah. Let's drop it all the way down to 20. Let's be real conservative.
20% APY.
20% immutable APY. No Hex left in the world.
My God.
0. And the institutions find out about this. Insurance companies alone. Go look at the numbers about insurance companies and what they got to do to go eke out a 3%. There's guys out there sweating every single day about their job to go get 3% of interest for an insurance company.
Yep.
Or to go out and trade and get that for a company that's out there that has to manage that investments that they have.
Yep.
Getting 3% is like the pinnacle. Imagine if you can immutably just and without any worry in the world throw it out there and get 20. What does that do to adoption? What does that do to the price of Hex that doesn't exist anymore?
It's incredible.
I keep telling people, motherfuckers are going to be waiting in line to get your Hex out when you unstake it.
Right.
Yep.
They're going to be waiting in line for it.
Oh, man.
Give me.
And what makes you think that
all day
that nobody's going to want the E-Hex? Because all the PX is gone at 20, because it's going to be 20% too.
Yo, people obviously chase yield no matter what. We see it happen right now. Like motherfuckers out here chasing yield all the time. Like, and you telling me you got 20% trustless and they're going to stop? Stop it.
Trustless.
Right.
Stop it.
Trustless.
Right.
Trustless. That's where we get global adoption. That's the message that has to go out there. Because everybody thinks, oh, OA bad, OA, no, OA good. OA make big APY. Now, if it gets ridiculous, OA can come in and adjust that.
Right.
If it needed to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, man. You never know. I mean, shit. Where do you, go ahead.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the message. If you want global adoption, that's what people have to understand is what Hex really is. And that's what Hex really is to the world. You know what I mean? Everybody's talking about number go up and, oh, nobody's, but that's just because more people are selling than buying right now in a bear market. You damn fools.
You know what's funny? There's actually
fools.
more buyers than sellers, man. They're just selling more dollars in terms of that. But like, there's more buyers than sellers on all the charts right now, meaning people still want to fucking buy, y'all. At the end of the day, there's more buyers than sellers. It's just that the sellers
bigger bags are selling. It's all the OGs.
The bigger bags are selling. hey, that's what I've been pointing out on every single one of the streams, man. Every single time I show these charts, I'm telling y'all, more buyers than sellers. It's just that there's more dollars being sold. Just wait.
Yeah. Real quick, man. I just want to shout out my dog Brian. He has a new podcast called Up to Me. He gave us a super chat. Thanks a lot, bro. I appreciate that. One of my childhood friends, man. And make sure y'all go check out his channel. He's doing a lot of financial. Yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate you, Brian, man. But anyway, so RG3, what's your vision for the next 6 to 12 months for the community? Are we still going to see people bitching on Twitter? Like, what do you think is going to change in the next 6 months? Like, are we? What's going on? You've been through this.
We're not going to get rid of the bitches. That's for sure. I've been trying to do that for a long time.
Man, look, let me ask you this. You think they're going to change their tune when stuff starts to go up, or are they going to still be salt? Like, what is like how did you
come on, man? Everybody changes their tune when it goes to the bull market.
I can't forget what I saw.
Kumbaya. I never said anything bad about Richard or PulseChain.
I
never said anything. I knew he was going to do it. I knew it was going to go up.
I had full faith in
what happened to people. Wait, because I was talking to ATX and Whales Only and a few of these guys about this. Did they not take profit, or did they like fumble the bag? Like, what is it? Is it like, are they in pain financially? Is that why they're acting out? Like, I mean, maybe you don't know. I'm just,
and no it's a little bit of all of that stuff, right?
Okay.
It was what we talked about earlier about people setting expectations and then getting screwed up by their own expectations.
Right.
And Richard never said they were going to pump. Richard never said, you don't know how high PulseChain could go.
Right.
You don't know how high PulseX can go. He never said that.
Right.
But he has said that about Hex. He has said that about Hex. And why did he build Hex? He built Hex. I mean, why did he build PulseChain? So that Hex wouldn't suck on Ethereum anymore.
Yeah.
Because Ethereum was sucking. He didn't build PulseChain to pump. He built PulseChain for Hex so that Hex would be better.
Wow.
He built it.
Wow.
He built the DEX so that the PulseChain would be better. Now, if anybody wants to go use those things and do cool stuff with it and bring all the crypto over so they can buy Hex,
right.
Because they're all over there buying Bitcoin. All of those things are making them all buy Bitcoin.
Right.
But that's why he built these things. So, because Hex is the GOAT. Hex is the GOAT. Hex changes the world. Hex fixes inflation. Hex fixes interest rate APYs for all the world, not just for us in America or people in Canada or people in Germany. It fixes all the world's financial woes. I go to these seminars all the time. I'm in Robert Kiyosaki's people's groups all the time. Met with him. I've talked on his stage. I've hung out with all these financial people, and they're all crying and screaming the same thing. We need something to fix this. Oh, the U.S. economy and the dollar and the blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying, it's right here, guys. Hex is the thing that can fix all of that. And now we have true DeFi. And now other products can be built on. Look at what's the best product that has been built on Hex, and I think that's Hedron at this point.
Right.
Other things are coming out, and other protocols are doing great things. Don't get me wrong, but Hedron came out and proofed the power of the T-share.
Definitely.
Proof the power of the T-share, that you can wrap something with a T-share and make it valuable. And so now other DeFi protocols, and there are going to be some, are going to figure this thing out. And there's going to be some brilliant, smart motherfuckers out there that are going to do some really cool stuff in DeFi with Hex and the T-share.
Gotcha.
And with the protocols that Richard put out with PulseX and Pulse. So it's here, and it's about to be unleashed on the world. And again, it's up to us to go out and promote it.
Yes, sir. I think it comes down to a sense of entitlement, man.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it comes down to a sense of entitlement, man. You look back at everyone who has any gripes or complaints or anything like that, and you just get down to the basic of they feel entitled.
And I think a lot of people, because we were at the top of Hex at the time, a lot of people sacrificed too much. or
there you
a
go.
bunch out there.
There you go.
Because hey, it was like, hey man, this could be my swan song. I go all in on this thing and it blows up, man. So a lot of people probably a lot of the OGs took their. I mean, I know I over leveraged all my hex, but it didn't affect my living. It didn't affect who I was, and I took profits and I made sure everything was okay. But
I'm thankful. I'm thankful that it happened the way it did, man.
Yeah.
That shit locked in
that
shit locked in the freaking price at that. Like imagine you had your hex locked in at a price of 15 to 12 to 15 cents right now, and that's what Pulse is worth right now. It's your hex valued at 12 to 15 cents. So whatever the price of hex is right now, that don't even matter because you got Pulse, right? Because that locked in that price. Pulse X, it locked that shit in at 33 cents. So if it's down right now, is it really down? Is it? Is it
really? No, not
comparatively to where the actual price is right now on hex versus what your sacrifice amount is that you got for Pulse Hex. That shit ain't down. It's not.
No. So and that's what I said on Twitter the other day. I ain't down.
Yeah,
shit, I sacrifice at the top.
Has a sense of entitlement that they just, it's like this ingrained thing that I don't know when it happened. I don't know where it came from, but everyone thinks they deserve it because they just do. It's not even like they even earned it. I ain't even gonna say they earned it. They just think they fucking deserve it.
Well, I think it's a handful of loud people is what it is. We're always going to have that 30% of people that are just going to be loud and on the other side of things, on the wrong side of things, period. And because they have a platform, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, they're gonna be loud and louder. And we just need more of us out there speaking truth and speaking truth to that nonsense. And it is nonsense. The whole EHEX PHEX thing, nonsense. Those of you who are out there talking about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So is EHEX dead? Because they're telling me EHEX is dead, man. What's going on?
What I just told you is what matters.
Right.
The price of it could be down now because a few people are flooding it.
Right.
Everything does that. We're in a bear market.
It's agendas, man. Yeah. I think people are up to something.
It's the same hex.
Right.
It's the same hex. And when it becomes very, very rare, more rare than it is, people are going to want it too. Because just think about it. All the pulse is gone. All the pulse hex is gone, right?
Yep.
Right.
So, I need that 20% APY. I'll go over there and get it anyway.
Yep.
Right.
And what does that do? Bumps the price of it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. No matter what, you're going to look at it and you're going to see two different products at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, they're now two different coins, whether they're tied together through liquidity or not. They're two different things. So people are going to look at it, and you're going to have the T-share rate on one of them up here and the price up here. Then you're going to have the T-share rate on one of them down here and maybe the price down here. And which one are you going to go for? Shit, I can get so much more XYZ T-shares for however many or X T-shares for this amount of dollars. I'm going to go get that because it's the same freaking code at the end of the day. Okay, you got to go a little longer.
Somebody in the chat said, I haven't been really paying too much attention, but somebody said respectfully, Crypto Bend, you respectfully, I'll answer you. I feel the same way. I understand what you're saying here. I respect your disagree. RH action dictate he wants Pulse Hex to pump harder than Hex. If only he built EHEX, he wouldn't let them all meet quite tweeting. So the reason why Richard wants adoption on PulseChain is to get people into Hex.
Yep.
Richard wants people into Hex.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now, if you go back, look, I've been streaming for 3 years. I've watched every single one of Richard's Hart streams, hours and hours and hours of them.
Right.
I was on stream with him. I've met him in person. I know who he is.
Right.
He wants Hex. Hex is the GOAT. Hex is the thing that changes the world. PulseChain doesn't change the world.
Wow.
Hex changes the world. Hex changes inflation. Hex changes APY. Even on Ethereum, when it wasn't working as good as it works on PulseChain, it's still doing the same thing over there, even with high prices and gas fees. And guess what? Ethereum's going to fix that. Ethereum's not going away. It's not going to die.
Right.
It's going to fix it. And we're going to have chain wars and all that kind of stuff. Now, in my personal opinion, I think that PulseChain is going to do better. I think that Hex is going to do better on both chains than every other crypto out there because of what I just told you earlier. That Hex is going to disappear. You that are staked are going to be the ones holding the keys to the kingdom because people are going to be waiting in line for your shit.
Preach it. Yes, sir.
Imagine what that does to inflation. See, this compounds all kinds of good stuff. And we can get deeper and deeper into this because forget everything else. Let's talk about inflation for a minute.
Right.
The beautiful inflation of Hex, the 3.69% of Hex inflation, which is very modest, beats Bitcoin's inflation, by the way.
Yep.
So as the Hex comes out, it lands on a 15-year stake. Boom. No inflation in the world lands on something that's 15 years old and delays it for 15 years. 15 years delayed inflation, guys.
Right. Right.
Now, 15 years from now, RG's vision is going to be true. People are going to be waiting in line. So what's going to happen when that 15-year stake comes due?
Right.
And that person is holding that big old bag of 15-year-old stake that everybody wants. Well, first of all, I'm upset that T-share is gone, but I got this big bag of Hex.
Right.
I don't need all this Hex.
Right.
So I'm going to restake some of it and let some of these vultures have some of it because it'll pay the bills. It's going to take care of me well because the price of Hex is going to be insane at that point. So now I take that Hex and I restake it. Now what did that do? And I put some of it out for 15 years. That's inflation that has been stowed away for 30 years. Do you know what that means to the value of a currency or the value of an asset?
Bro,
that its inflation is being locked away for 30 years.
It's incredible stuff, man.
You know, I break it down. Yeah, I have a simple way of saying that too. And it comes down to people have weak hands, right? They do. Clear as day. Look at the charts right now. Look at them. They'll prove that people have weak hands. Now, this is where Hex comes to shine. So when motherfuckers make it on PulseChain and PulseX, and you're sitting on a bag and you're sitting on millions of dollars,
right?
You think you're just going to be able to hold it? Do you think you can just sit there and watch it go from 2 million, 1 million, 500,000, 300,000?
That's going to hurt.
100,000. Do you think you're going to be able to do that? Do you really? Because the dips are going to come, y'all. They're going to come. Dips are in the game of crypto. And if you can't expect to wait that out, that is where Hex comes to shine. That is where Hex truly shines. They take your weak hands out of the equation and they let you lock it up and earn trustless yield to pay yourself in the future. My God.
Yo, man, RG3, bro, I got to get into it with you, man. What you think about all these sacrifices and protocols continuing to keep sacrificing after they already made $15 million? Like, what do you think about that, man? Like, are you into that? Like, because I'm about to put a stop to it, but go ahead, man.
Okay, so I don't sacrifice for things. I sacrificed for PulseChain and I sacrificed for PulseX.
Nice.
Because I like what they do for Hex.
Right.
That's my asset. My asset is Hex. And I will invest in the things that are going to make it better. I was given Hedron for free. So I like that also. Anything that I'm given for free, I take.
Free stuff, y'all.
Free crypto is free crypto. Trust me, my wallet's full of free crypto.
Yep.
And and I understand that DeFi protocols and sacrifices are going to be well, maybe not sacrifices necessary, but they're going to come.
Right.
I'm not going to promote them. I will not talk about them. I don't speak of those sacrifices because first of all, it dilutes the community's value into different. We're already diluted into 5 Richard Hart coins, which, hey, for those of you with expectations, forget expectations. How about math? How about just do some fucking math and realize that the value of everybody's coins just got spread in 5 different directions.
Yeah.
That's why prices go down more than the rest of crypto. We got the 90% dip of crypto, plus we got a division of 5 different coins in Richard Hart's ecosystem that just spread everything out all over the place. And then we have the vulture sacrificers that everybody sacrificed for all these other things, shiny objects in Richard Hart's ecosystem because they tagged themselves to him or acted like they were part of the community or whatever. People jumped in on these things.
Right.
Oh, they're going to do great. They're part of the system. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And hey, I'm just sitting back and watching how Scooter does. If Scooter gets up and walks and crawls and runs, then okay, great.
Right.
Then great. You know,
That's
good
how
for them.
Scooter does. Right.
And that's what I want to see. I want to see them get up and crawl and walk and do something.
Right.
You know, and some of them are starting to actually do things. Now, the sacrifice diluted everything. So not saying sacrifice good or bad or whatever, but it's delusion.
Okay.
And that's what people should be screaming about instead of talking shit about Richard and me and some of the other people. You should be talking, and oh yeah, you're just RG's exit liquidity and all this other bullshit. Motherfuckers, you guys should be getting out there and doing stuff, and you guys should be doing the math and realizing that all those guys are the ones that diluted your shit.
Yep.
Not RG.
Yep.
I'm the one who paid for your damn movie to get put out. I'm the one who built products on the outside of this thing and never had a sacrifice. And still got those things flooded out by the community.
And never had a sacrifice.
I built the Hex Investment Trust. I built the Hex Investment Trust, which locks away Hex forever. It's another OA, and people don't even know what that is. RG's the scammer trying to get people in the Hex Investment Trust. I built Grayscale for Hex.
Ooh, with no sacrifice. Oh, shit.
With no sacrifice. All on its own.
Fire.
It's a privately held purchase on out there. You cannot it's not publicly traded yet. It's privately traded. So but it's there. We built it. It's there. So
right.
I don't know where this attitude of like you said, entitlement comes from with all these people deciding who they're going to go after, and when they really should be going after themselves because they can't do math, they can't listen, and they over leverage themselves, and it's their own damn faults.
I mean, even with the tour, I'm sure you're coming out of your own pocket because I haven't seen like you guys raising funds for the tour and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it's incredible. 5
people on staff that I pay.
Wow.
That the tour pays for.
When you
I don't get a dime from it. I don't get a dime. It's my time. It's my dime. I'm the one that's putting effort into it.
Incredible.
It's my gift to the community.
Yeah.
And I'm
if
y'all
don't know what he's talking about on that real fast, I'm just going to do a quick promotion for you on that one. Right. Go to PulseChainTour.com. If you want to, go find out when they're at in your area. If you have never been to any meetup with the Hex meetup in general, then learn and go and just have some fun in this awesome, great invitation on this one, because guys, he's sharing some great information. If you have people who are new to crypto,
bring your friends.
You have people who have never been in crypto before or are new onboards into the ecosystem that we're in right now. These are the meetups that you need to take them to so they can go learn and listen, not just from you, but from others who are also in the community as well.
Yeah, there's other OGs talking there. There's other people that are putting DeFi protocols out there that are talking. So we're and I don't go out there and speak tech. So your new people are going to feel comfortable. I tell people that everybody can do this. Right. There's nothing new under the sun. And see, the older folks that are my age and older, they get it because I tell them, look, crypto is just a different way of doing the things that you've always done.
Yep. Everybody
knows what a certificate of deposit was that are my age. We all know how to use these things. Exchanges are just, ways for them to transfer their money, and a chain is just a way for them to do their banking. It's just like when banking went from us walking into the bank and writing a check. Like I remember I used to write checks at the grocery store. I used to write a check. That's how old I am. We used to put fucking paper down and hand it to people. Right. And they'd look at it and, sign it and I'm telling you, we went from that to the internet. That changed everything for us, where we were using debit cards and stuff. And that was different. This is just another different way. Just moving it into crypto is just another way of changing into the system. It's still the same things they've always used. So I try and take that fear away from the people that are there, that are older, that don't understand crypto or the internet well, and tell them, look, it's just the same thing you've been doing before. It's the same products. In fact, you guys are better at it than most of these people, because these people think this shit's new. They think it's, this is something that just dropped out of the sky somewhere. It's the same shit, just a different technology doing the same stuff that we've always done. A savings account with high yield. That's different than we've seen in the past, but it's the same tools that we used to use. It's the same tools. Yeah, and it's just a different way of doing it. So we take the fear out of it and we start talking to people normally.
That's funny. Ain't no sacrifice for coming from me.
Hey man, if you put that thing as a meme coin, I'm sure you'd get it.
Hey, RG3,
obviously, motherfuckers real fast, dude. They just want to give their money away, fam.
Now that they say that, bro, like, have you ever splurged on anything? Have you ever bought any crazy cars or motorcycles? Or what's your favorite thing you got since you've become rich in crypto? Like, what is that thing you said, I gotta get this, I gotta splurge on this? Anything?
I'll tell you what I did.
All
right. I put rain gutters on my house.
Rain gutter, that's it.
Yeah, here's a
man.
funny story about that, right? So,
Right.
so my wife's been after me
Shit.
for rain gutters forever, right? We got
Are
rain
you
gutters. The
kidding
rain
me?
comes, it pours out the roof, it hits the gardens, and we get dirt
I
and
hope-
mud all over the place. And it don't rain that much in California, so I got away with it for many years, right?
Are you
So-
serious?
So the first thing I did is I bought rain gutters. So this cat comes out to my house and starts putting rain gutters on, and he's like, I was like, yeah, man, what do you do and stuff? And I'm like, well, I'm getting, I'm getting retired right now. I used to do this, and now I'm just kind of this full-time kind of crypto guy. I stream, and he's like, oh, my friend's into this crypto thing too, man. He's trying to get me to buy this stuff called Hex. And I said,
shit.
oh, really?
Shut the fuck up.
I said, call your friend up right now and tell him you just met RG and see what he says. So he calls him up, and the dude's like, you're at fucking RG's house. No shit, you were at RG's house.
Wow.
And so I swore on both the secrecy and whatnot, but
wow.
Hexagon just got
Let's
onboarded
go.
and put the rain gutters up. It was a trip, man. He put the rain
that's
gutters up my house, and that was my
crazy.
flex.
That's life. That's life happening right there, man. That's just vibrations happening at that frequency right there at that time, fam. That's just how that be working.
So that's really your biggest, like that's it.
No, I did buy a coffee maker.
Motherfucker's got a whole private plane in the back. You know what I mean? He ain't telling anybody. He got a private jet and shit.
You
He's
got
like, yeah, I'll be going
man.
around.
You did something real nice for yourself, man. Come on, bro. Come on.
So this year, so
you got a personal fitness. Let's talk about a little bit. Okay, go ahead.
Well,
go ahead,
I definitely, that's what I'm splurging on right now. Is I take care of myself. I have a private trainer that I work out with. I have a nutritionist, Ryan Hefner, who does Method of Fitness.
Right.
I always call his thing the wrong. Ryan Hefner. He's my nutritionist. I talk to him every day. I weigh in every day. We watch my food. We're on a pump right now. We're getting ready to do a dump and get me my abs back.
Right.
So, and then I've got I've got a massage therapist. I've got a holistic doctor taking care of my cholesterol, my health, and I got 8 herniated discs in my back. So I'm always looking to try and fix that. So doing stem cell stuff right now, getting ready, do some other things and just kind of take care of.
Do you feel better since you've started doing that?
I feel amazing. Wait till you guys see the before and afters. The before and after pictures are just going to be through the roof. I've been on a 2-year journey now. I went from 220. I'm now down to 190.
Congrats, man.
And I'm on a bulk right now. So I've gotten all the way down to 177. So now we're getting ready to do another drop. So I'll probably drop down to 175, 180. But just
congrats, man.
Starting to get, in good shape. Yeah, thanks. And
dude, this is what everyone, you ain't got to go through all that. Anyone watching, anyone listening, get started on doing simple shit right now. And I got Westcott and all the PulseNation peeps in the fucking chat doing 100 push-ups a day, every single day, doing burpees, doing whatever the fuck they can to stay healthy, because most people do exactly like RG3 did. They focus on their wealth. They lose their health. And then they spend not all their wealth, but they spend their wealth to get their health back. Guys, it ain't got to be like that. It ain't got to be like that. Y'all can be healthy now and be wealthy at the same fucking time.
Don't spend your health equity, guys. Take care of yourself now. I know partying is fun. Smoking them vapes are good and drinking lots of booze and eating the food you want because your body's taking it right now. But trust me, later on in life, it catches up to you. Yeah. And drop the tobacco, drop the freaking booze. I mean, in moderation, all those things. And if you're addicted to them, get rid of them. But you got to take care of your body, because I know too many people that are wrecked already. And I see them, they're like 30s and 40s. And it's like, guys, man, you're going to have a hard time, or you're going to be dead by the time you're 50, 55 like me. You got to get that in check right away, man, because and I do have to give the one flex that I did give for myself is I did buy.
There it is. There it is. I knew it.
This isn't anything super special. It's a nice watch. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. Let's see, I'll put it up here.
Oh, there it is.
It's a Breitling. It's like a $10,000 watch. It's not $150,000.
It's something, man.
It's but I've always wanted a Breitling, so that was the one thing I did get for myself. And
love it. Yeah. Congrats on that, man, too. That's one of those, set the goal. But again, I see how everyone going through and doing this way too early. I think someone said this in the conversation a little bit earlier. People are freaking out and bitching and moaning and complaining because they retired too early and now they got to spend their fucking money to get out. And RG3 has actually had conversations about this when he had the excitement and run up when it went from 2015, 2014 on the run up in there, and you started being like, I can retire, I can do this, I can do that. And I think you stuck to your job, if I remember the story correctly. You stuck it out. You waited another cycle, because most times people have to understand this. You learn in your first cycle, you fucking earn in your second cycle, and typically in your third cycle, you good, man. If you do it right, you're fucking good. And I want everyone to take that to heart in this whole situation. If Hex was your first cycle right now, congratulations, you're on to your second cycle, and that's where you fucking earn, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one of the things I learned along the way through self-help and whatnot was this 10-10-10 30-40 rule. And a lot of people don't apply it or whatever, but you should blow 10%. You should put 10% away. You should give or tithe or whatever. I have a foundation. My wife and I have a foundation, and we give to an autism, my niece's autism group, and a group that helps pregnant ladies or women with kids go through recovery, addiction recovery. So we give 10, 10, 10, and then 30 invest, and 40 live off of. You should be able to live off of 40% of your income or your gains or whatever. Invest 30% in things, whether it's crypto or outside businesses, property, whatever. And then, 10, 10, 10 is, like I said, blow, save, and then give. Yeah. And that's usually kind of a good rule of thumb for me.
Hell yeah.
So what advice could you give to some of these young guys about like doing well in crypto and the ladies, and maybe if they should avoid the 10? I'm sure a lot of ladies throw themselves at you. How do you avoid the temptation, man? Because I know these ladies is throwing themselves at you. When you show up at these tours, man, they know RG3 the captain is here.
Trust me, they're not. No, dude, you see me in person. I'm old, man.
Shut the fuck up, Wes.
Oh, no. You got to give some advice for the young, because a lot of these young guys in their 20s, they're going to hit it big. And I
have a real hard time with today's society and the dating thing and all that. I have a real hard time with the red pill stuff. Yeah. Although a lot of it sounds, sound advice, because here's what I know about young men today is they don't have any rite of passage. And that's a big deal. Our culture here in America, especially, is decultured. Like, unless you're like from a deep culture, like Vietnamese culture or Mexican culture or Puerto Rican or Cuban, or, unless you're from a deep culture that has those types of rites of passage through their community, through their families and stuff, the American culture is devoid of that. And we have a lot of lost men out there, and we have a lot of avenues for them to get all this weird information from the internet, because now anybody can say anything to anyone, and we've got people out there, being very misogynistic and being very putting women down. And I see a lot of this stuff out there, and it kind of it breaks my heart to see young men having to, really needing something and then getting fed a lot of this bullshit. So, gosh, man, that would be a whole nother thing for me to try and engage in, is helping young men to try and, better their ways. But, it all comes down to, go out there and be the best you that you can be. Try and fix all the things that you find. Quit looking for the right woman. Quit trying to find, I hear them all the time, find a high value woman, find a woman that's going to do this, find a woman. No, you go out and be a high value man, and your high value woman will show up.
Yes, sir.
When I was garbage, living under the bridge, doing the stuff I was doing, there was no woman in my life. It was until I changed everything about me, discovered who I was, got rid of all of my garbage, and became a better man, that one finally showed up. Wow. The high value woman showed up. Wow. And that's what it's about. It's, you will attract what you become. If you're attracting garbage, guess what? More than likely, you're probably fucking garbage. Right. If that's what you're bringing into your life.
Wow. That's dope. I didn't think of that.
And it should be, don't focus on the other person. Don't go out and look for somebody.
Focus on yourself.
You need to be focusing on your damn self.
Talking that shit, RG. I like this, man. See, the people need to hear it because, again, a lot of guys are going to come into money. They focus on the wrong stuff, and it's like, listen.
And money's like steroids, man. It just makes you.
Yeah.
It enhances the person that you are. If you're an asshole, you're gonna be a bigger asshole.
Yeah.
If you're an asshole and you get wealthy, you're just gonna be a bigger asshole.
Right.
That's the way it is. Money doesn't change anything about it. It's just gonna make you a more heightened version of yourself. So. Right. You know, the sudden wealth syndrome thing is if you're a good person, that wealth is going to do good things. It's going to do good things for your family, good things for your community, good things, you know, in the future for you. But if you're just some guy that's out there looking for a Lambo and a fur coat and some fucking $5,000 tennis shoes and hose, then that's what you're going to be and you're going to be a low value person.
Right.
You know, and you're going to end up empty, you know, and it's going to be fun as hell. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be fun, but eventually one day you're going to wake up in a hotel room in fucking Amsterdam or whatever, and you're going to go, this is fucking wasted life. Now, some people never get out of that. You know, we had an uncle that, you know, he died with a hooker on top of him and cocaine on the on the deal. And he lived his life fullest and he was happy and he was in his, you know, his early 60s or whatever. But I mean, you know, in general, if you want to be a happy, fulfilled human being, go out and be the best version of yourself. Go and fix the things that you see that you want to change about yourself. Learn who you are first. Quit focusing on other people or the women in your life or whatever. Go focus on you, man. Find out who you are and what you want out of life and what you want to be and what you want people to see and what you want written on that tombstone when you die. That's the things you go and you fulfill that, man. The money will just make your life even better.
Oh, beautiful, man. Beautifully said. And after that, like my last question to you before we wrap this up would be, how did crypto change the marriage? Like, did she know about the investments beforehand? Was she excited when it went crazy? Like, what was it? Was she nervous about it? Like, how,
man,
does she thank you every day for what you did? Like how does it change the marriage?
You know what Wes is really saying? Does she thank you every day?
You don't know.
Look, guys, I've been married for 22 years. Nice. So that's
congratulations, man.
It's
she must be
so my wife has seen me go through all of these. You know, I was a network marketer. I mean, I've done every side business, lost money, got ripped off, you know, and my wife just this whole time was like,
yep, I know the feeling.
You know, and that's the path. That's the lessons of the entrepreneur, you know. Now some guys, they're just built for what they get themselves into and they do it and they do it right and they do it well. Some of them get the first time, some get the second, third time, some get the fifth time. And I was one of those guys that had to do it 12 times, right? And it was one failure after another, good money over bad investments and trying to get something going. But I never stopped. I never quit. And I always looked at it as failing forward because I was handicapped in life because of where I came from. You know, I came from the streets. I decided to go the wrong path, you know, and I became a Marine. So then it was like, okay, well, you know, for a bunch of years there, I was just a meathead killing machine, you know, and it was like, you know, what skills did I have when I came to the real world? But like street smarts and Marine Corps fucking murder training, right? So it was like, what do you have to offer the world? So it took me a long time to find my way and to find my entrepreneurial roots and find something that was going to work, you know, and by chance, I started a business that was that supported a game called Counter-Strike. Right. And we were building a social media platform for them. And
I used to play Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Well, we were going to take control of the 2 team servers so that we would load the game. So there was no bots, no hacks, anything like that. Right. And we would monitor the play and then stack everything, rank everything, put everybody on their own websites and everything. And they could have all this. So it was a really cool deal. Right. It never took off. We launched it at the .com death era, you know? Right. And but because I was back then, that was in 2007, 2006, because then I was in the IIRC chat rooms, and that's where a lot of the Bitcoin chat rooms were at. Right. And ran across it. They tried to sell us, trying to get us crypto inside of our gaming system, inside of our system, and we blew it all off. We were like, whatever, this crypto crap, right?
Right.
And,
Oh shit.
yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry, bro. I had to pull that.
No, that's great. I can't wait to tell that to the family. They're gonna love it. Literally, he died.
Yeah, exactly. Went out with a bang.
Great way to go out.
She had to call the ambulance.
I'll be honest, that's probably how I'm gonna go out, but let's continue.
So that's how, just by chance, that's how I came across crypto. And then somebody in 2014 asked me where or asked me to send them Bitcoin. And I'm like, that PayPal crypto thing? And they're like, yeah, send me some. So I had to set up a wallet and send them the crypto. And then by chance, a few months later, about 5 months later in 2015, somebody said, hey, send me some Bitcoin. I'm like, God damn. So I opened that wallet and there was about $30 and change in there or something, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And I opened a wallet, there's like $800 in there.
Oh shit.
So I was like, whoa, wait a second.
Yeah.
So 72 hours later, after reading and watching streams and doing everything I could to find out, that's when it hit me like, oh shit, that crypto thing is the way to go. Yeah. And so 14, what is that, 6-7 years it took me to finally, make it, like you said, 3 cycles, couple cycles.
Yep.
And now here we are. But by chance, because of my entrepreneurial endeavors and trying and failing, is how I came across all this. And now everything that I've learned, either through networking, speaking on stage in front of thousands of people, streaming, doing meetings with people across the world, building marketing teams and doing all that kind of stuff, all the work that I've done, everything that I've done has kind of prepared me for this moment here,
right?
To be here with you guys, to be doing what I'm doing, to have the guts and the fucking grit at this age to continue to go out there and do what I'm going to go do. Right. And so that's how I felt. Like everything that I've learned, I believe in the universe, bringing good things to you, whatever you might want to call it. I leave that to everybody else on their own. Dude. But I believe that this has all come the way it's come for me to go and do what I'm doing now. So, that's how I feel about the thing. It's divine inspiration, whatever you want to call it. Wow. Here it is. And that's why I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, because my heart's telling me this is what I should be doing. It has nothing to do with money. Has nothing to do with power. It has nothing to do with my ego. It has to do with going out and helping people with the tools that I've been given and the gifts that I've been given. Go out and give back. And that's what it's all about. Because the more you give back and the more you help others, it just keeps coming back to you. Your life just gets better and better and better the more you give. And that's why I don't understand all these fucking trolls out there and all these people talking shit about everybody. Like, crazy. Do you know how much power filling somebody's bucket does? You know how much power our community would be if we were all out there filling each other's buckets versus taking out of each other's buckets, talking shit about each other, memeing each other. I don't understand that stuff, man. I don't get it. Like, everybody's out there doing good stuff. Everybody's out there working on their own dime. Everybody's trying to build this community on their own, and people are flooding them, bringing them down. It's like crabs in a bucket shit. You got to stop that stuff, man. You got to come together and go out and fuck crypto and fuck this stupid little community. Let's get out there and show the world who we are. And if somebody doesn't lead this thing, if somebody doesn't show some integrity and some knowledge and some fucking maturity, then the world isn't going to hear this. They're going to see a bunch of little fucking, cats fucking needed to be herded, just fighting with each other. It's
definitely, man.
It looks like you fight like this. You don't fight like that. Like exactly. Like the little, just fucking, man. No one's swinging, no one's doing shit. They just over here just fucking pussyfooting it around, bro. Like, stop.
Yeah, and we got to stop that. And I think it's a maturity level and a lack of leadership.
For sure.
And it's hard to lead people in 2D on Twitter with a tweet and all that kind of stuff. And Richard's showing it right now. He's showing his leadership. He's out there saying what he needs to say, but he's not out. And why is Richard not streaming? All this crap. It's like, no, you guys get out there and do it. You guys, he gave you the tools. Now go do it. Yep. There's nothing he can say right now. You're just all going to ask him stupid questions. When's money going to go up? When's price going to go up? When's everything going to get better? That's all they're going to ask. When's the bull market starting? Exactly. That's all they're going to ask is stupid shit like that. And that's not what this is about.
At all, man. At all, bro. Right? I just want to quickly give a huge shout out to Jesse James. He says, "Tell it like it is, Captain Hoorah," which is dope, man. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, thank you, man. And with that said, bro, ATX, you got any last questions? Anything you want to say, or?
No, I mean, just to break it down real simple on it, you know what I mean? Because I know everyone's waiting for, you know, win 10,000x or whatever, or what is Richard Hart doing, or why isn't he streaming? And what happens is everything that we got working right now, we are live right now with PulseChain. We are live right now with PulseX. So anything that needs to be implemented takes time in reality, and it takes time to test it, and it takes time to make sure it's robust, and it takes time to make sure it's sound, because you have to understand Richard Hart has a narrative of flawless operation. That is part of Richard Hart. And if you are anyone who has something as a part of you, that is a part of him. And he cannot ever pause any of these things, because God forbid he does. People lose their fucking mind. So that is part of it. And everything is robust, has to be stable. It has to be everything before it gets implemented. So please understand, it's a live system. It's going to be ensured that it's done correctly. And this is for the betterment of all of us, y'all. All of us.
Absolutely.
He ain't looking out for one freaking person. He ain't looking out for 10 people. He's looking out for all of us. So please understand that delayed gratification is said, but take it to heart and actually look forward into the future. Not a day, not a month, not 6 months. Look forward into 5 years, 10 years. See what happens and how your life is going to change with patience. That's what I'll leave it off at right there.
And real quick before we go, I just want to share what I got tagged. This is
it's already out.
Yo, you guys are hilarious, man. This is RG3. Listen, man, dude, this is a great interview. We love that you were here. Can you just tell the people where to find you, man?
Okay, so on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, I'm Captain RG3. We got a movie coming out extremely soon. I'm sure you guys are going to hear about it really, really soon, where you can go and see it. You know, MCA, the Hex Investment Trust, those are two products that we've put out that are helping Hexicans outside of crypto. There's no airdrop, there's no crypto involved in it, nothing. It's outside. And then the PulseChain Tour, I'm out talking DeFi. Go to PulseChainTour.com. That way you can see where the next location is going to be. We're having meetups. Hexicans are meeting. Bring your new people. Get there. Go buy your tickets early so that we know how many people are coming, how much food to get, and all that kind of stuff. VIP treatment for the VIPs. Hang out, have dinner. We talk strategy. We talk in depth. I don't speak about these things on stream, because I don't. If people want to counsel, financial advice, things that I've done, things that they could do, I like to do that in person. I think that's where it's best done. Also, the last thing I would like to say is, Hex is the GOAT. Hex was built to be a better Bitcoin. It was built to better crypto, and it has. It's done it. It's proven it. No crypto works like Hex. It did a 10,000x, guys, and Bitcoin did a 6 million x with 3% of global adoption. What's going to happen when we get 10, 20, 30, 40% when there's a better coin than Bitcoin out there? What kind of X's can Hex do if it's already done 10,000? Maybe 100, maybe 1 million. If Bitcoin did 6 million x at 3% adoption, think about it. Look at PulseChain and look at PulseX and look at all the other DEXs and all the other L1s and what they've done as far as X's go. And that'll tell you what's going to happen and what's going on. History, nothing. There's nothing new under the sun, guys. These things are going to follow suit, and Hex, Pulse, and PulseX are going to be the leaders in the DeFi space. And there ain't nothing anybody can do about it. They're launched, they're here, and we got to go out and talk about it. And you guys, thanks for having me on your show. You guys are phenomenal. I'm a fan. I love what you guys are doing. Keep doing it, and get better. And hopefully one day I'll be able to, walk in you guys' shadow.
For sure, man. Hey, man, likewise, man. Thanks for everything you do. It's amazing. Guys, I just want to say, come check me out. If you're in the New Jersey, New York area, I'll be at the Brooklyn event for the PulseChain Tour on August 12th. So make sure you come check us out. We're going to have a good time.
Yes, sir. Guys, like, share, subscribe, push the belly button and all. And we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Take care.
Yeah, I'm ballin' in this bitch. Yeah. Money stay calling in this bitch.